Welcome to the Tea with Tina, your favorite podcast where we talk all things health, fitness, lifestyle, and maybe a little bit of tea gets spilled. We chat all about this in a super casual environment, so grab your beverage of choice, sit back, relax, and enjoy. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Tea with Tina podcast. Just a little disclaimer, the intro for today is going to be a little bit chatty just because I want to kind of give you an update on what we did for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, because that's what was going on at the time of recording this. What I've been watching, I just like that little chatty update. For me, it's fun, so let's just get into it. So, recap of the weekend. For Thanksgiving, we visited back home with my family early November, mainly because we try not to go on the actual holiday because traffic is horrendous, hotels are way overly priced, and our families don't really care if we're not there for the exact day. So we kind of had our own Thanksgiving. It's like a 6-hour drive home. But for us, just me and Derek, we actually went to a local restaurant in the area called Blue. It's a little bit more of an upscale restaurant, but you can still be casual if you want to. They'll ask you if you want bottled water or tap water. They kind of lay out the silverware for you, but you could also come in jeans and nobody's going to judge you. So it's kind of nice. But we actually got their Thanksgiving dinner and it was really good. I would say it was pretty fancy and very filling. It had your turkey, your stuffing, your cranberries, your green beans, potatoes, yams. So it was really well rounded. I think that was really all I ate the whole day. I think I had a protein shake and I might have snacked at night. I actually did really well with my eating, and I feel like I have been since I've been a trainer. I posted some tips over in my Facebook group, Busy Women Fitness Driven. If you aren't a part of that already, I highly recommend you join that group. I post a lot of good challenges, free challenges. I'll do giveaways, funny memes, just good stuff. So it's a great group. We're over 100 people. I think we're up to 110 now. So that group has grown considerably since I started it a couple years ago, and I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, overall throughout the weekend, I didn't do bad. I didn't want to drink alcohol. I had a couple bigger meals, but I really didn't overindulge. And like I said, I've been doing that. I feel like I definitely sample what I want, but I don't eat to the point that I am sick and disgustingly full. So yeah, that was what we did on Thanksgiving Day. Pretty chill day. That was the highlight of the day. The next day, Friday, we went up to Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, so where the office was based out of, but it wasn't actually filmed there. It was filmed in California, but they got it kind of accurate. But it's north of us about an hour and a half, and they have a casino up there, and it's called the Mohegan Sun Casino. So we went to that. It was fun. I enjoy it there. We don't gamble like an addict. We just gamble to have fun and spend the time. We didn't win anything, but it was fun still. And then 10 minutes down the road, we went to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, which is a minor league team to the Pittsburgh Penguins, my home team. But we did that. I like to call them the baby penguins or the baby pens, but that's not their formal name. But let me tell you, I don't know what happened, but in the past, I have literally Pavloved myself into hating sports games. And I don't know what it is. I just get really nervous and antsy around all the people, all the noise. I kind of get overstimulated. I've had times where my stomach was upset, and I felt like I had to use the bathroom, which really, you have easy access to the restrooms, but whether it be baseball games or hockey games, those are the two that we usually go to. I just was not having a good time normally, and this time I did have a good time. I was a little nervous in the beginning. My stomach was a little bit upset, that nervous upset, and it went away, thank God, and I ended up having a good time. So I'm hoping that this resets it for me and I can actually enjoy my sports games. It was actually, like I said, a really, really good game. It was neck and neck. They were facing the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, which is actually close to where I live. And I was rooting for the Penguins, obviously. But it was neck and neck. They ended up in the last minute of the game. The Penguins scored another point, so it became 2-2, and then they went into overtime for a little bit, and that was pretty intense, but they ultimately ended up winning, so it was really cool, really fun. The mascot Tux, he is a penguin, and he was causing some mayhem around the rink, and it was pretty fun to see that too. Taking people's popcorn, whipping it, all kinds of stuff to keep you entertained. So I had a good time with that. Saturday, okay, this is a funny little story that probably won't mean anything to you guys, but when me and Derek first moved out this way, we were kind of just playing around at these different parks, and we found this one park. And you could kind of walk over this little dam, and there was some water. I vividly remember this guy and his son fishing, and there was sprawling hills, and there's a planet walk, a walk where there was little planetary facts, so many feet. And we went there, and we left, and we could never find it ever again. And when we went, it was super, super windy, so we couldn't really enjoy the park for what it was, but we definitely wanted to go back again to get the most out of it. And it really kicked us, because we would look around, we would travel somewhere and be like, this is it, and then no. And if you Google search park with Planet Walk, nothing comes up, or weird obscure stuff comes up. So I did what any sane person would do, and I went to Reddit. So I went to Reddit, Pennsylvania. I posted a post about it, and lo and behold, within 5 minutes, the internet is beautiful. Within 5 minutes, somebody guessed the right place. So it ended up being Montour Preserve. So apparently there's a coal plant nearby, and usually when places like that have something that kind of pollutes, they will kind of try to counterbalance it with something nice, like a park. It kind of sucks that they pollute, but the park is really, really nice. It's cool. There's a lot of trails that we didn't explore yet, but we got to go. They actually have a fossil pit too, which is something I've never seen before. I didn't realize we've been to the fossil pit, but I didn't associate it with this park. I thought it was another park because they all kind of blur together. There is a nature center as well. We have not been in the nature center. I would love to go in there. And the fossil pit, you can just go and look through rocks and find different fossils, and you can actually get there with a hammer and really dig and look through to see if you can find something. And it's this big hill, this big mountain. I remember we spent a couple hours there just looking through different things the first time we went, but we didn't go this time because it looked a little busy, but it was cool. So we're definitely going to go back at some point. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's nice. I like it. It was fun. That was our Saturday. By Sunday, we were pooped out, and I did absolutely nothing on Sunday. Just chillaxed, really, and just tried to enjoy my time. And that was pretty much the weekend. Now, just 2 more updates, so not super long, but what I've been watching. This is so funny, and probably, I don't know if any of you will relate, because, I don't know, I feel like I'm a mishmash of things. I was telling this to Derek. As far as music goes, I will listen to anything. Give me Frank Sinatra, give me, Seether, or 3 Days Grace, or Shinedown, some rock. Give me Red Hot Chili Peppers, give me rappers, 21 Savage, or Juicy J. I literally have such a wide range. Give me country, give me old country, 70s, 60s, even Hank Williams Sr. I think it's just because I've been around so many different people. My parents were born in the mid-50s, the 1950s, so they showed me the music and trends from their era. I am 10 years younger than my sister and 13 years younger than my brother, so they're kind of 80s babies, 80s, 90s, and I got their culture, and then I have my culture, which I'm an early millennial, a young millennial, so I could almost have the Gen Z, is it Gen Z? Gen X? I don't know. Whatever the one after millennials, the one that's a little bit younger than millennials, I'm kind of borderline, so I share some of the trends with them, but I also share millennial trends, so I literally have a little bit of everything, and I love it. I love the culture, but I've been feeling nostalgia lately. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like there hasn't been, I sound like my parents, and I hate this, But I feel like there's been nothing good on TV. There's been a couple things. Like, there definitely was a lot of stuff. Like, I've been watching a lot of adult animated shows. That sounds weird. Like, it almost sounds like it's, like, inappropriate. But no, I mean, like, adult cartoons. So, like, Rick and Morty. I've been watching Inside Job. That's on Netflix. We just started watching that. That's really good. The ones that are kids but have adult references, Regular Show, which is on Hulu, and Gravity Falls. Freaking love them. Great storylines. Fantastic shows. And there's so many of them, so we're just, like, plowing through. That's our, like, nightly watching. There's a couple other things that we've been watching as well, but, like, as far as new movies and just things that aren't remakes or like an expansion, because I feel like everything's going on that Marvel trend, like, oh, let's take one idea and build like 40 side stories. Like, I remember they were saying, like, imagine if the Lord of the Rings was made today. Like, there would be about 20 different spin-offs, right? And it's cool because I'm a big fan of lore and I love hearing the backstories of things and the origin stories and what happens in the future. But some movies, it doesn't work like that, and it feels drawn out, it feels forced. Some things are better off like one and done or doing like 1 and 2, you know. So I don't know, just as far as original ideas go, I haven't been interested in a lot of things lately. Reality shows, just, I don't know, I can't get into them, so I have been going the nostalgia route, and of all things that we watched, we watched the Rush Hour movies. They're on Netflix, classics, they're hilarious. I remember watching them when they came out when I was a kid, and let me tell you though, the the racism in there, it's... I guess because it's a black guy and a Chinese guy, you know, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, it's like acceptable because they are the targets of their own jokes. But like the things that were said, I remember me and Derek were just watching it, we're like, wow, if this was made today, these would not fly, these jokes. And it's funny because it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but I mean the first one was filmed about 20 years ago now, a little over 20 years. So it was interesting. But I did like those movies. They just put you in a good mood. They're happy. That cheesy action vibe, you know. And then I was watching American Choppers. I don't know, fun little background story about me. I was a tomboy a little bit when I was a kid. And I don't know if you even know what American Choppers is. It's on Discovery Plus. It was on the Discovery Channel. It's these guys. They're actually kind of close to where I live now. They're in upstate New York. And there's a dad, Paul Tuttle Sr., and then his son, Paul Tuttle Jr. He has another son, Mikey, and there's other people that work there, Vinny and stuff, and they make custom bikes known as choppers. They just look a little different. They're a little bit more stylish, and it's cool because I'd show them building it, and they would do it for different things. Like, there's one for NASA, so they'd theme these bikes out, like, super cool. Like, they do all this crazy detail, and they're really not meant to be ridden. Like, they can be rode, but rode? I don't know what's the right term there. But, they're meant to be really displayed, so they're usually like a museum piece to some extent to represent whatever the business is, and it's really cool, okay? But listen, I got so into American Choppers when I was younger, and it was a big thing. I was probably like 9 or 10, because I think the first show aired in like 2003. And I always kind of laugh at this. A little background. These were post 9/11 shows. So if you ever look at any big world events like World War II, Vietnam, the Cold War, things like that, you'll notice that the media will pump out feel-good things. And rightfully so, right? They do that in an attempt to kind of ease the public because it's been a rough time. So like post 9/11, this is like a real thing. I wish there was a documentary. There probably is. But like post 9/11, you had things like Iron Chef, you had American Choppers, things that were a little bit more patriotic, not Iron Chef, but like feel good, simple, kind of mindless. And I enjoy that. I feel like we're, post pandemic, we're going through such an intense time right now. There's probably a recession if we're not already. We are basically in one, but I feel like we haven't seen the full-blown effects, unfortunately. I'm waiting for the nostalgia feel-good shows and movies to come out. I guess we could say Top Gun, the remake, or it's not a remake, but Top Gun Maverick, that would be something kind of like, feel good, it's patriotic, it's, kind of that happy-go-lucky movie. So like I said, I'm just waiting. But that was kind of one of those shows. And I, back in the day, at Big Lots, they had an American Chopper bike, because they had like toys and figurines and whatever, and I bought it. It was a pedal bike, and it was black with flames. I think it was for a guy, but whatever, it was unisex, and I rode that thing around. It has such a big comfy seat, and I thought it was so cool riding it around. And I also got their video games, the American Choppers. There was 2 of them. That's how popular they were, and we used to play them all the time. Me, my dad, my sister, we'd sit upstairs on a Sunday, because that was when my dad was off, and we'd just goof around. We'd joke around at the crappy graphics, or like the tag phrases they would say in the show. So it was fun. It was a fun pastime. Definitely something cool. So I went back to it out of nostalgia. I don't think Derek ever really sat down and watched them, because he was cracking up at it. And like, the way they are, it was very similar, since my dad works in an automotive shop. He's a mechanic. He owns his own shop, and some of the parallels in there are funny to see too, and I think that's why my dad liked it. He would kind of see himself as Paul Sr., and then my brother, who works with him, as Paul Jr. So it's just funny to watch. So it's definitely a little bit of nostalgia for me lately. We also watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I don't know if any of you know that. That is a great Thanksgiving movie. So we watched that. Love John Candy. Love Steve Martin. They're hilarious. And I like to go back and watch these movies when I'm older. And I was just talking to my dad about this, because he'll watch stuff that was made, when he was a baby, like 50s, 60s. And he said the same exact thing. He says he'll go back and watch stuff, when he's an adult, and go, wow, like, just to pick up on different things and like see how things were at the time. And it's kind of cool. And that's why, again, I was watching that, because you get more of the adult references. You can kind of see things through the lens of an adult and not just a kid. Because I would watch these as a kid, because my parents would be watching them, because at the time the movies might only be like 10, 15 years old. Now they are much older. Time's crazy. But I watch it for that effect. Another one I want to watch that my dad told me, which I have watched before, and there's been some newer ones, but the original Bean. Bean was like a European, I think, skit comedy show, and I've never watched those. But the movie is hilarious. I love it. It's like pure 90s. I think it's from the 90s. It's either late 80s or early 90s, and I gotta watch it. So that's definitely gonna be my feel-good movie for this week, probably, is Bean. Just makes you laugh. Okay, but enough about watching things. Oh, wait, one more thing I want to add. I will probably be watching Pepsi Where's My Jet. That's on Netflix. It's like a 4-episode special about, like, when they did the Pepsi giveaway to win a jet. This guy goes through a whole legal battle of, like, why he should get the jet. So I'm curious to see that, because I do remember hearing about that vaguely, and I definitely want to see that. So, anyways, last little thing, a little update is Holiday Hustle, my Holiday Hustle challenge. If you want to participate, I have it going on in my Facebook group. Again, Busy Women, Fitness Driven. Just type that in and add yourself to the group. I will approve you. It's a free challenge. You can also do it through my training app if you want the workouts and to be able to like track your habits, track your nutrition, whatever. It's $47, and we're doing it essentially for 6 weeks, so it's kind of like a 6-week challenge. But I really put an emphasis on following basic habits throughout the holidays, because I know it can be a stressful time. You're doing a lot of traveling, there's a lot of parties, you may not have the mental or physical energy to keep up with your routine. So we're keeping, simple habits, things like 3 to 5 minutes of stretching a day. Did you get 7 hours of sleep? Did you eat 1 fruit and 1 vegetable today? So there's a list of things. We did do a turkey trot 5K in the group for Thanksgiving. I plan on doing a winter Runderland 5K closer to Christmas. So that'll be a fun group activity, and the 12 days of fitness. I'm very excited about that. So, if you want to join, be sure to hop into the group if you're not in there already. Also, I have the 6-week Holiday Hustle on my Trainerize website, which there should be a link in the group. I could post it in the notes as well. If you want to hop into that, it's $47. And I have all of my 6-week challenges discounted to $47. So if you ever wanted to do a past 6-week challenge, I have winter ones like New Year, New Me, Fit for Fall, Strong Girl Summer. There's different ones there, and they're all different sets of workouts. $47. And I say if you buy all of them, that's like half a year's of workouts. So that's a pretty good deal for like $200. It'll keep you rolling with that. So yeah. Okay, so that was my little update. What the heck are we talking about today, right? Day in the life of an online fitness trainer. Okay, so that is the main thing today. I hope you enjoyed that little intro. I know I feel like I kind of like ramble with that, but I listen to a ton of different podcasts, and I love the ones that are more casual like this, because I listen to my podcast when I'm like doing dishes, or I'm cleaning, or I'm driving, and I just want to feel like it's a conversation. I don't want to feel like, I don't know, it's an educational seminar or you're being really too sciencey. I just like that casual chatting. I want it to feel like I'm chatting with you and you're just listening in, you know? Okay, so anyway, moving on. Day in the life of an online fitness trainer. So that is me. I do still do in-person training, but you know, my main goal eventually is to make online fitness training my main source of income. And the reason I do online fitness training over in-person, I believe I've talked about this on my podcast before, but there's definitely a time and place for in-person training. People who are brand new to lifting or have injuries, or they need more of a hands-on approach and they're not someone who can maybe research on their own how to do certain form and things like that. In person, 100%, at least for a short period of time. From there, if they feel like they're ready to move on and they just need the accountability of workouts, they need the coaching guidance with nutrition and habits, that's when I think online is a little bit more of an affordable option. It's better for time. You don't have to set up a certain appointment of time commitment, and you can really focus on more than just workouts alone, okay? So I definitely favor online for that. From a business perspective, it allows me more time and creative freedom. I feel like I'm working, I wouldn't want to say I'm working more. I'm working in a way that I enjoy, that allows my creative flow. Like I might be batching social media, batching content, as opposed to, you know, feel like I'm being on the clock 9 to 5. Like if I need to stop in the middle of the day and make a Target run real quick, I don't have to feel worried like, oh my god, I'm leaving my job, you know, and I'm gonna lose an hour of pay. Like it's different. It's like, okay, you know, I'm just leaving for the day and I'll be back and I'll work on stuff, and that might not necessarily affect my pay because I'm not paid hourly. Okay, I'm paid by based off of what services I give. So it's different. I love the, like I said, the time freedom. You know, if we go traveling or something, I can take my work with me, but it won't kill me. I can make my own schedule. I can do what I want. And that's also another reason I've always disliked working for other people, because I feel like there's always an aspect about the business I'm in that I don't like, and I see a way to make it more efficient or do it a certain way, and obviously you can't do that because you're not the owner of the business. But I find that I do that. I try to innovate. So just like my dad was that way as well. He opened up his own mechanic shop. He sells cars and fixes them. But he did that because he used to work for dealerships and he was really, really good, but he hated that, like, he couldn't do things his way. He always butted heads with the managers or supervisors or owners at the time, so he decided to do it on his own. And he's been open since 1988, I believe, for his business, so it's been going really well. And again, that's how I feel too, is being a personal trainer, you're pretty independent, but there's a lot of things that I want to do that maybe I are not within my reach and my ability within the job. Like, for instance, I work at Anytime Fitness. Anytime Fitness is more corporate. Even though it is a relaxed environment, there's certain things that I can't do or don't necessarily have the capacity to do within my job there that I can do in my own business, because there's no limits in your own business. You set the limits, you set what you can do, you set the pricing, like everything is customized to you, and it really allows my creative freedom to flow. So, Anyway, I want to be a full-time online trainer, and basically I have two kinds of scenarios in my head. Scenario one, which will probably be stage one, is once I feel comfortable enough with pretty much being online as my main source of income, and if I quit in person today, could still pay the bills and everything, I would like to train in person probably 2 to 3 days a week for clients that I really love, and just getting that like social interaction experience. And I fully believe if I went full time online, it just takes time to adapt a normal like schedule, being able to leave the house and like go do things, because it's weird. I feel like I have cut back with in-person training. I am off on Mondays and I do half days Fridays. And even then, I'm still kind of finding my way, finding how to be productive, but still trying to leave the house and do things. So it's a fine balance and it takes time, and I'm okay with that. But definitely would keep it for the 2 to 3 days a week, at least for a little bit. But the ultimate end goal would be once we get a house, because the market's horrendous, so that just keeps getting pushed off unless we find like our dream house. Once I get a house, I would love to have like a studio either on the property, like a little gym, or rent somewhere and have my own studio and basically train people out of there. Listen, here's the end goal. Tell me how cool this would be. I love gardening. I want to have a garden, fruits and vegetables, herbs, flowers, all that stuff. I want to have a small farm, okay? And then I'll have this gym. You have people come to work out. Pick your fruits and vegetables, maybe learn to garden, do all kinds of workshops, activities, goat yoga, bring your dogs while you're training, bring your cats, you could bring your kids if you want, different things like that. Movie nights, like I want to have the freedom to do that again, something super cool that I can do, that'd be a little bit more me. So I have a lot of cool ideas. That is down the road. That's a lot of money. It's a big investment, but if we were to have like, you could do whatever you want, unlimited money, that's what I would do. So that's kind of the end goal. But currently, I'm mainly working in my online biz on the Mondays, full days Mondays, and like I said, half days Fridays. Eventually, I will be off on Fridays as well. That is the next step. I try to take weekends off mainly to set boundaries, because when you have an online business, you're kind of always on. You're always thinking about it. Someone's messaging you. You're on social media. But I try to take at least one day to ignore it and just do me and rest and relax, because we all need that. Usually, whatever day we're not busy on Saturday or Sunday, unless we're traveling or something like that, I will just kind of do a couple odds and ends things for my business, but nothing too crazy. I'd say anywhere between 2 to 4 hours I will work on something. If I need to touch up a client plan, if I need to answer a question, if I need to prep something for social media or whatever, I'll do that just to stay on top of things. And currently I'm working in person at the gym for about 32 hours per week training in-person clients. And as of right now, I've been pretty booked up. So I'm pretty busy the whole time I'm there. I try to squeeze in a workout when I'm there, which is one of the perks of being a trainer. Not as cool as you think though. Like I would much prefer to just do it on my own, but after a long day of work. So praise you people who work full days. I used to do it and I'd go straight to the gym, but now that I'm there all day, it's like I just got to get it done. When I'm there, I don't want to leave and come back kind of thing, so I try to get it in when I am there. But I'm definitely in between phases right now where I'm still growing my business, and my biz income does increase year after year, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for my clients, and all of the support that everybody's been giving me. Even you guys listening to the podcast, you are supporting me, and it does mean a lot. It allows me to pursue my dreams and really just change more lives for the better, bring you guys to be healthy, because obesity and poor health is really like an epidemic in our country, right? I mean, between pesticides, lack of nutrients, we have pollution, we have fast processed foods, people don't know how to eat the right way, or we're just bombarded, we're overworked, we're looking for that quick food, and I want to be an oasis, and I want to teach you guys to fight back against that, because you can be healthy without spending a ton of money. You can make yourself feel better, and you can prevent a lot of the diseases that are going around. Anybody can feel better through health and fitness to some degree. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair, I don't care if you're blind, I don't care if you have injuries, if you're missing limbs, whatever it may be, anybody can take steps to be better. So that's one of the main reasons I got into this business, is to make an impact on people like that. And for me, as someone who has hormonal imbalances, which you can scroll back in the podcast if you don't know about them, but basically I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I think just hormonal imbalances in general causes irregular periods, changes in mood, and I've been able to keep them at bay with really good taking my supplements and just being on top of my health and fitness routine. But I try to really set boundaries as well, because with my hormones being off, I feel like I'm extra sensitive to stress, and if I overwork myself and I'm super stressed, it throws me off and I can't show up as my best self. So I set those boundaries to try to keep as healthy as possible. Okay, so that's just a little background of where I'm at right now, what my work hours and situation kind of looks like. Now for the daily schedule. So this has taken a while for me to perfect, honestly, because once I truly transitioned to having full days to work in my online biz, there really isn't like a checklist of things you have to do, right? There's no manager to tell you what to do. It's just you. Whatever you do into the business reflects into what you get out of it. So you kind of have to create your own schedule. I created my own systems, everything out of thin air, right? So that's made it a little challenging, but I've definitely, over time, as I've got more clients, as I've gotten into a routine, as I've studied business, listened to podcasts, looked and see how other people did things, and kind of have taken what I liked about that and added bits and pieces into my own business, I have learned over time, and I have developed some sort of a schedule. I'm really doubling down on social media and content creation because it's essential for me right now. Like right now I'm batch recording podcasts, like batching things and having an actual methodical way of doing things, because I don't know if I mentioned it before, but when I do social media, I'm very spur of the moment. I kind of go based off what I'm feeling that day, which is fine sometimes, because you got to go with the trends and whatever's happening, and what might be popular today will not be popular 2 days from now. But I definitely try to get into the habit of batching more, because it's so unrealistic to try to create these pieces of content every single day. There's just not enough hours in a day. There's not enough time to do it every day. It's exhausting, and you're going to run yourself into the ground. But anyways, so my daily schedule. On Mondays, I definitely will wake up, cook my breakfast, drink my water, take my supplements. I have some caffeine. After this, while I'm most fresh and creative, because when I first wake up, that's definitely when I have the most energy, I will be batching content for social media. So I've gone into the routine of, I'll plan out what my YouTube videos are. I'll kind of write a script and what I want to do with it. My podcast episodes, my blog posts, a lot of these things I will repurpose into different social media outlets. So if it's in a video, I might make that into a blog post. How can I make that YouTube video into an Instagram reel, into a TikTok? It saves time, and it helps me stay organized and get my message out to more people on different platforms, because I could post to Instagram and you may not even see that I posted that reel. I've already posted stuff before, and I have new people see it from months ago, so I recycle stuff as well, to get it on more eyes. So it's an interesting it's an interesting process. I've been really liking looking into like social media and content creation, and I made a podcast episode on this about social media. It's been really, really popular, actually. You guys liked it, but I talked about like social media detox and like how to reframe your mindset around social media. And I definitely feel like I'm at that point where I look at social media as business, but also as something I enjoy. I enjoy connecting with people. I don't follow accounts that make me feel bad about myself. I don't follow accounts that are cheesy or fake. You know, I generally get joy when I scroll. I genuinely have good connections with people. I enjoy posting. And yeah, it's just a fun time. So I'm happy that I'm in that spot. But after I'm done batching and I feel like I'm I got all my energy out, I'll do my client check-ins. So usually I'll batch my client check-ins on Fridays and Mondays. I'll split them up. Right now, my client roster, I'd say, is between 15 to 20 one-on-one clients. That will probably expand in the future. I'll have to see where my limit is. But in general, for client check-ins, I have them fill out a Google form every week or sometimes bi-weekly, and I review their feedback, their biofeedback. I look at their profile in the app, their workouts, their food logs. I analyze everything, and basically I create an in-depth video check-in that's usually anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes long, I would say, on average. Sometimes you get a little bit of a shorter check-in that's 5 minutes. Sometimes you get a little bit longer, but usually 10 to 20 minutes per person. So it is pretty in-depth. It's fun, but that is a bulk of my day, I would say, as well. Somewhere in there, I am eating lunch. I do enjoy being at home because I feel like I have more control over making stuff and having time to make better decisions and not just doing grab and go or having to pack ahead of time. Because usually at work, I just kind of rush and eat and then go back to training or whatever. But this, I kind of get to enjoy it. If I have any downtime, I may take time to straighten up the house, do dishes, laundry, little stuff that maybe we can't get to in the week because we're just kind of wake up, work, watch TV for an hour, go to bed and kind of thing, and eat dinner and stuff like that. So I'll do that kind of stuff. Grocery shopping, I might run to the store too to save us some time. Just some nice time-saving activities. Again, some more time freedom, things that allow me to do stuff that I normally wouldn't be able to do at a typical 9 to 5. And then, going back to Fridays, I do work a half day. I'm usually 8 to 1 on Fridays at my in-person job. Very easy. I come in, I clean, I train a couple people, and then I leave. But usually Binks, my cat, is very needy when I come home because I'm the first one he sees. So I usually have to spend some time with him so he doesn't get super whiny. If it's nice outside in the warmer weather, I'll take him outside on his harness for a couple minutes, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, let him sniff around, and then I'll do some client check-ins till about, I'd say 4 to 5. I try to stop working at the very latest at 6 o'clock at night. I try not to go any later than that unless I have some downtime and I want to do an hour of work or something like that. We don't feel like watching TV, but really that's where I'm at. So yeah, I would say that is kind of where I'm at with my business. I know it sounds probably not super glamorous. I will say for 2023, I do want to make more YouTube videos. YouTube videos are more long form content. They stay within, they're very searchable. So you can look up videos from 5 years ago and they hold their value. Instagram's fun. I love Instagram, but it's here and gone, right? You have a reel, you have a post, it's gone within a week or two and you don't even remember it, and it's you put all that work into it and it's gone. But I love Instagram. I'm still sticking with my Facebook group. I'll probably be posting on Pinterest and, like I said, my blog for sure. I've been slacking. I used to blog all the time. That's how really my business got started. I just started blogging, and I'm going to start bringing this back. My email list, some more long form permanent content. And of course, I want to start posting to TikTok as well. More. I don't understand TikTok. Again, it's one of those things too. It's kind of it comes and goes. There's really not a connection element. It's more of a consuming app, so it's one of those things. But definitely the podcast, YouTube, blog posts, long-form content is coming, and I think that's going to be the trend for 2023. All right. I hope you found that interesting, a little glimpse into my life. I'm sure my schedule will change, but my main goal is to keep things as simple as possible. I'm not trying to do a ton of complicated tasks every day. I want to keep it easy, to keep my brain not fried. So yeah, that is a day in the life of me, an online trainer. I'm also looking to get a little bit more into brands. I don't necessarily want to become an influencer, of course. I want my online training to be a main source of income, but I think it'd be cool to do reviews of products, and if I get a code, and I'm not that person that accepts any product that comes my way. I'm only going to support products that I 110% use, which is why I haven't really done any brand deals in the years you've probably seen me. So I'm going to look into that as well. Just more of a fun thing, because I enjoy consumerism, as horrible as that is. I love like doing Target hauls and finding new products that I love and just trying them out, and if they are fun, I want to share them with you guys. So yes, that will wrap it up for me. Sorry if I was rambling. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this review, if you liked this podcast, you know the deal. Give it 5 stars. You can do it Spotify, iTunes, whatever. You can write a written review. If you screenshot it and send it to me, I do have a free special gift for you. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy. It helps me out. You can even share this podcast with a friend. Feel free to share it. Hit the share button. Anybody who wants to listen if an episode resonates with you. But other than that, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great